I played this game at the Marshall Chess Club, and boy, is it a doozy. So I played a National Life Master, Oliver Sherman. I actually have a game uploaded on YouTube between me and him where I won. It's called Expert vs. Master if you want to check it out. It's a really cool game. We've played a lot, Oliver and I. He's a great player and a good good sportsman for the game. And this game got really crazy. This was the last game of the tournament, and I won one game. It's 4 games in one tournament, and I won the first, drew the second, drew the third, and now I was going for the last game. If I won this game, I would have tied for second and won some decent prize money. And it looked like that's what was going to happen. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. I'll show you what happened. So we don't have that, actually. He played the English opening. So Oliver likes to play some offbeat openings. You don't really see the English that much. I mean, it is a pretty common one, but it's just not seen. It's not super common. So I don't really know it. I mean, I know how to play chess. I know how to play in the opening, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. But it's pretty, I was able to figure it out as I went along. Okay, so I just strike in the center. Similar, basically, it's like a reverse Sicilian. So basically, since I play the Sicilian, I kind of have the basic ideas and concepts of how to play against this opening. So anyway, we have a pin right here, so he's actually attacking this pawn. So I simply just took this knight first, and after white takes back, I just develop my bishop and protect the pawn. And Oliver strikes in the center, like a good player should. And I take back, and white takes towards the center. Here I castle, white castles. I develop my bishop and pin the knight. White tries to kick me out, and I just maintain the tension. Now, if they do try to ever play this, it's playable. It just weakens the king side. It's very committal, and experienced players don't like to play committal moves unless they have a really good reason to. Okay, so Oliver just plays bishop e2, good flexible move, and it breaks the pin. Okay, I just bring my rook into the game. Okay, now he's attacking the weak pawn. I just simply defend it. The bishop goes to a big diagonal, and here is the first part of the game where I leave. We're out of the opening. We're not too much concerned about development now, and now I'm already starting to form a strategy. Now, it looks like I'm attacking the pawn, which I am. And listen, a pawn is a pawn, as they say. But what I'm really trying to do is I'm expecting and hoping that Oliver defends it. Now, he shouldn't. He probably should just make some, or at the very least, if he does defend it actively like this. I thought that would be a good move here. It also takes away the square, which was my plan. I probably would have played this here and then this. But anyway, Oliver defended like this. I was really happy about that move because it allows me to go to d5, which the computer does say is the best move. And now the point is my knight's on a really good central square. So I actually use this as a pivot square. This was a pseudo threat to just get the knight here with tempo. Now, the pawn, if it ever moves, this is why the knight is good. Now, the rook can take the pawn here, obviously, right now. But let's say the game progressed a little bit and white starts to guard the center, and now white strikes in the center. The reason why the knight is so good here is now I have the f5 square. So if they ever try to, Oliver can't expand in the center and take over space because I would have knight f5, a really strong knight, and I'm fighting for a good advantage here. And actually at this level, e5 is really all it takes to get a position that's pretty much unstoppable. If you let your opponent get e5, let's say the queen was covering here, and you let your opponent get e5, and you didn't have this nice move hitting the queen and the bishop, then you would have this. You would start to get in a pretty slippery situation. The computer is the computer. It says it's pretty even, but you don't want to play positions like this where I'm cramped and white has a really good center. It's really not comfortable. It's really hard to formulate any type of plan. So anyway, getting back to the game. My knight's on d5 now, which I was happy about. And here Oliver played bishop e5, attacking my rook. I simply blocked, attacked the bishop. And then we have bishop e2 going right. I'm sorry, bishop d3, which is a good square for the bishop. And he had plans maybe of attacking or something along these lines. Now, here I just played queen e7. And rook e1, just finishing development, getting the rook on an open file. It's a good idea. I'm just expanding just on the queen side while I wait for my opponent to kind of show his cards, what he wants to do here. And now I play bishop c7. Now my idea here at first was it's a waiting move, but at the same time it's also flexible and it's allowing me to start up an attack if I want. So basically at some point I could play queen d6, take the knight, checkmate. Now obviously he's not going to let me do that, but he might weaken his king side to avoid that. And again, at the very least, when more pawns are pushed, especially on the king side, it kind of defines the position, what type of position we're going to play. And then I can better formulate a plan and move forward. Anyway, we have this. And I was happy to see this move because it's pretty passive. Now, the idea was he doesn't like that pin anymore. So he wants to block that, and he was probably going to go for something else and trying to do something else, reroute his pieces. And I didn't really want that. Now, the patient side of me, I was very patient this game, and this whole tournament, actually. I was playing really well. I was going to play queen d6, right? And just say, okay, my threat is to take, and then check, and then, enter over here. It's not mate because he has this square, then he has this square because his bishop would be here. But I'm infiltrating the position. I was also thinking about bringing my rook into the game and joining me and just building up the attack. I was almost very close to going that way, but I couldn't help myself. I went into a pretty deep calculation here. I probably spent a good 3 minutes calculating, and we're playing 25-minute time controls, so that's a pretty substantial part of the clock, 3 minutes. And I went into a forced variation, which I thought was absolutely winning. And anyway, let's get into it. So I played knight takes e3. My opponent quickly just took back, and I took with the queen with check. So I got 2 pawns already for the knight. The point is, if the king comes here, try stopping checkmate. If you can, you're the best player in the world because it's mathematically impossible. There's no way to cover that square. So he can't go there. And he can't go here due to the fact that it's illegal. So he has one move to go to, and that's here. Now, a big mistake would be going here first. That would be impatient. And the reason why it doesn't work is because of this move right here. Well, actually, that move actually would work. The reason why it doesn't work is because we have knight e5 blocking the diagonal, and now I pretty much just stifled my own attack because I left the knight on the board. There's tension here with the bishop too, so I'll probably have to trade, and then I just gave away a knight and we're trading down material. That's not a good idea. So for that reason here, I took the knight first, and now when white takes, I played queen f4. Now I calculated this all out. Now, he's getting checkmated. That's not good. So he played king g1. And now I played queen h2. If he comes to f2, that's really bad because we have check. He can't go to this file. And then we have checkmate. So for that reason, he came to f1. And now I played bishop g3. Now, I calculated all this out from the knight sack. This is the position I saw in my head a few moves ago, and I thought it was absolutely winning, which it is winning. It's definitely winning, but not nearly as winning as I thought. I thought I had checkmate the next move. There's nothing he can do, and I'll explain why. How do you stop this check? He can't come here. He can't come into this file. If he trades rooks, there's no way to stop mate. There's nothing. There's mate in 2, impossible to stop. You cannot stop it. So what happens here? I was pretty shocked because I had this in my head and I was so certain it was winning on the spot, but he played rook e4, which is actually a mistake. His best move was rook e5, but he played rook e4. And I was like, wow, if I check him now, he's coming up here and he's completely winning, actually. That doesn't work. So, and if I trade, that's just trading down, pieces. It's actually the best move. And I actually looked at that, and I should just play here. The reason why is after queen c2 protecting the bishop, I have f5. If he takes, he's getting checkmated on the spot. And if he doesn't take, he's getting checkmated on the spot. And his bishop's being attacked. So there's really nothing he can do. So that was the way to go. But again, I was in time pressure, and the nerves got to me. It was the last game of the round. I don't know. I'm just trying to find as many excuses as I can, obviously. But here I played f5, And I thought that was a good move because, I thought this was completely winning. Now I'm really not winning. But I thought I'm completely winning here still. I was like, all right, I missed rook e4, but still, this is completely winning. The whole point is if he takes, again, he cannot never trade rooks. If he trades rooks, there's no way to stop checkmate. I'm totally covering the e-file, covering f2. He cannot stop my queen from penetrating here. There's nothing he can do. And if he goes anywhere else, like if he retreats, like if he goes here, he blocks in his own retreat square. That's checkmate. If he comes here, this is checkmate. So I was like, what can he do here? But now he goes rook e5. And now I was like, oh no, what do I do? Now I can take the rook and cash in on, material and get back some material. I do have 2 pawns for the knight, and then taking the rook, that would be good. Material-wise, we have a basically even game. White has a slight advantage. But I was like, no, I'm winning this game. I played rook d8. Again, the point of rook d8 is if he takes, I take back, completely winning. He cannot stop checkmate. And also, my threat is it's just taking the rook. If I take the rook now, he can't take back because I am pinning his queen, so I'll just win his queen. But here, Oliver just played, no, he didn't play that. I wish he played that. He played queen b3, checking me. I go into the corner, and now what does he do? He just simply plays queen c2, and he actually holds on to the position perfectly. And now I just cashed in a material because I have no more attack. He defended perfectly. And after I did this, yeah, I got some material back, but he does have a slight advantage, and he has a passed pawn. Now, I don't have what happened after this because we were blitzing out moves, but basically we traded queens. He was able to guide his passed pawn to victory, and in time trouble, yeah, he just won the game. But last video I posted of him, I won, so I guess he got revenge on me, rightfully so. Great game played by him. I thought I was, absolutely winning, crushing. So when you are playing chess, when you are playing a game, that's the worst feeling when you calculate, you're certain you're winning, you see that position in your head, and then you miss that one tricky move. Now, I was still winning this game. I had to just find another good move. But what's really hard when you're playing really good players is you don't just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good moves. You have to keep on playing. They're going to keep on defending. They're going to keep on finding ideas in desperation. And you have to keep on pressing them over and over and over again. You have to grind them down no matter how winning your position looks. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I'll catch you next time. Get out of here, go play some chess.